Tonight on KGW News.
He needs to be detained.
New body cam footage shows just what led up to sheriff's deputies shooting and killing a suspect. Plus, Oregon takes a big step toward recriminalizing drug use.
Let this be a moment where we reaffirm our dedication to not just enacting these laws, but to ensuring that they work.
How a bill passed today would toughen penalties, but still give users a path to treatment. Then later, the plot of land helping Black Portlanders make a positive connection with each other and the tradition of farming.
Naturally, just putting your hands in the ground is going to reconnect you with your ancestral practices.
And we begin tonight with that new video from the perspective of Clark County Sheriff's deputies who shot and killed a man. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Cook. The shooting happened in Brush Prairie last week. A warning, some of what you'll see and hear may be disturbing. Alma McCarty joins us now in the newsroom with the story. Alma.
Well, Catherine, this all began just after midnight on Tuesday of last week. A caller told 911 dispatchers she was concerned for the safety of her mother in the company of a family member. According to investigators, she also said her mother reported being held hostage and that the suspect had guns everywhere.
Did you find your phone?
Around 1 a.m. on February 20th, 5 Clark County Sheriff's deputies show up to a Brush Prairie property.
With the truck.
Here, body camera video shows they encounter the victim and the suspect outside of the suspect's home, an RV on the property. That suspect, later identified by the Clark County medical examiner as 53-year-old Jonathan Gale.
Is everything okay? What happened?
As the other deputies talk with Gale, the first deputy talks with the victim, her identity blurred and voice redacted in this video.
Did a crime occur?
According to investigators, she tells the deputy that Gale sexually assaulted her, and she reports the suspect is armed.
What are they doing out here?
Wait for you guys.
All day?
No, she said that her daughter called you guys for a wellness check, and that's what we went for.
Video from the other deputies shows a mellow interaction with the suspect.
Can you just keep your hands out of your pockets for us?
But it quickly takes a turn as the first deputy joins the others.
He needs to be detained.
And another tells Gale he's going to pat him down.
Yeah, weapons on you, yeah? We're gonna pat you down real quick.
No, don't touch me. I'm sick. I have COVID-19, so don't.
Gale appears to pull a gun from beneath his jacket, and within seconds, 3 deputies fire shots.
Hey,
Drop the gun!
one at a time.
Hey, drop the gun! If you reach for it, force is going to be used against you.
The suspect falls face down on the ground. Eventually, the deputies approach him, handcuffing Gale and turning him over. They say they found a second gun on him. EMS workers pronounce Gale dead at the scene. In addition to the 5 perspectives released, the Clark County Sheriff's Office also slowed down the first deputy's video and pointed out what they say was the gun. The investigation, led by Vancouver Police, continues, and the 5 deputies from the incident remain on leave. Of the 3 who fired their weapons, 2, Sergeant Tom Yoder and Deputy Forrest Gonzalez, were involved in previous officer-involved shootings while working with the Clark County Sheriff's Office. Yoder in 2016 and Gonzalez in 2021.
According to the video, the sheriff's office is investigating the sexual assault allegation. Detectives also said when they searched Gale's RV, they seized 10 IEDs, multiple firearms, and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Catherine?
Alma, thank you. Turning now to a big milestone in the effort to recriminalize public drug use in Oregon. Today, members of the Oregon House of Representatives passed House Bill 4002. It opens up the possibility of jail time for offenders, but they'll still have a chance to avoid it.
House Bill 4002 relating to the addiction crisis in the state and declaring emergency.
Thursday at the state capitol brought the third and final reading of House Bill 4002. The proposal aims to walk back parts of voter-approved Measure 110. The law decriminalized possession of small amounts of hard drugs in Oregon.
The clerk will open the voting system.
Lawmakers voted and passed the bill in a bipartisan vote of 51-7.
House Bill 4002, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed.
Before the gavel landed, lawmakers shared their thoughts, including Jason Krupp, the bill's co-chief petitioner. He acknowledged the weeks of public hearings, work sessions, and amendments that led to the compromise they voted on.
The emotion and the gravity come from this reality. I'm sure every single person in this chamber today has a friend or a family member that has been impacted by addiction.
That's not lost on Representative Ricky Ruiz from Gresham.
5 months ago, Mr. Speaker, we lost a family friend to an overdose. And while attending the funeral, it was very clear to me that this overdose and this addiction to drugs didn't happen out of the blue.
Ruiz noted that person had struggled after losing his mom to cancer. He said as lawmakers, they owe it to everyone struggling with addiction to provide them with resources and time to recover, things 4002 aims to do.
I want to be clear. I will be tracking the impacts of House Bill 4002 very closely and invite my colleagues to commit to Oregonians that we are willing to return and evaluate its outcomes and its effects.
If approved by the Senate and signed by Governor Kotek, the bill would make simple drug possession a new kind of misdemeanor. Those convicted would initially get probation, but if they violate that probation, they could go to jail for up to 6 months. As part of the bill, counties could also choose to offer a deflection program. Instead of prosecution, the offender would go through treatment. Some lawmakers say the bill remains too soft.
Oregonians have been clear. They're ready for this misguided drug decriminalization experiment to be over.
For Krupp, it all goes back to the goal of helping those struggling with addiction.
We started this process with the belief that we can do better than how we used to treat possession of drugs in 2019.
House Bill 4002 now heads to the Senate for a first reading on the floor tomorrow. And today, 2 other bills passed through the Senate to try and help the housing crisis. Senate Bill 1530 provides hundreds of millions of dollars for things like homeless prevention services and infrastructure upgrades. Meanwhile, SB 1537 grants $75 million to help cities speed up construction of affordable housing. It also allows cities a one-time expansion of their urban growth boundaries. While lawmakers say these bills are a big boost, they feel more needs to be done to help curb homelessness.
We have to make sure we build more affordable housing. We have to make sure that we build housing, increase our housing production.
We should slowly be able to bleed out of having to fund temporary shelters, get those folks into much more permanent, stable housing.
Senators say this discussion will continue into the 2025 season and beyond. Both of these bills now head to the House. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. Congress has approved a short-term spending measure to avert government shutdown. It would keep one set of federal agencies operating through March 8th and another set through March 22nd. This is the 4th short-term extension in recent months. We have a traffic alert in Lake Oswego. A small landslide has closed Iron Mountain Boulevard between Summit Drive and Fairway Road. Officials say they expect that stretch to stay shut down through the weekend for cleanup. And Multnomah County's ban on flavored tobacco will remain on hold indefinitely. The ban was supposed to start this year, but was halted just days before it would have taken effect. The Court of Appeals decided to extend the pause while a lawsuit seeking to overturn the ban moves forward. A similar effort to ban the sale of flavored tobacco in Washington County has also been put on hold because of legal challenges. And tonight we have the first official update from the team dealing with Portland's fentanyl state of emergency. The group of nearly 50 local leaders has been meeting every morning for the last month. They say the biggest changes so far have been around improving communication.
The goal of this emergency is to coordinate the effort and build a common strategy so we can augment those results and we can start driving down the drug addiction issues that we're seeing on the streets of Portland.
The team says right now they're focused on the parts of downtown overrun with public drug use. Starting this weekend, they'll temporarily close certain bottle returns near Southwest 10th and Jefferson. They say many fentanyl users depend on them for quick cash. You're watching KGW News at 11. Still ahead, nourishing a community. How a group turned an empty lot into a garden of opportunity. Plus, double with a side of animal fries. What's happening that might bring In-N-Out Burger to Southwest Washington?
And we have been in and out of the showers all night long, and that's going to be the case right on through the weekend. Right now, some pretty good rain over downtown Portland, and boy, has it ever been snowing in the Cascades. Still is. That's live from Timberline. We'll show you how much snow will fall as we go into the weekend and how low the snow will go.